Hi, everybody. Well, batten down the hatches and lock the door. It's TSN Wrestling time once more. Ed Whalen at ringside with celebrated columnist Jim Davies. And what a card we've got upcoming. You'll be seeing Mucka Singh in action as he goes against Colonel Kirchner. There's action behind me, obviously, right now. Owen Hart takes on Hashi Khan, the International Tag Team Champions. Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman, they'll be in action. And the main event. Oh, how about this one? Two bad guys, Jason the Terrible and the Zodiac, colliding. The loser to be unmasked and chased out of the territory. Battle of Britain. The 222-pounder from London, Garfield Ports, against the 228-pounder out of Manchester, Johnny Smith. It's one fall with a 20-minute time limit. We're moving toward the 5-minute mark. Jürgen Hermann, the referee. It's been very spirited, and I've found out prior to the match and during the early stages why I am not a member of the Garfield Ports fan club. He's a different son than his daddy.
Garfield Port's a very strange individual. You complimented him on looking lovely in pink. Pretty in pink, I think, is what you said. He came over here, started stomping away on the ringside table, kicked our beverages over, and I'll tell you what, Johnny Smith has been...
Well, he's doing it again. Get out of here. What is it with him? He needs his head red. Oh, my, the big suplex out on the concrete.
I'll tell you what, Garfield Ports may be from England, but he doesn't have any of the manners traditionally associated with British lords and ladies. The man is a brute. He has been taking the worst of it from a very solid wrestler, Manchester's Johnny Smith, in this Battle of Britain. And the only way he's maintained any dignity and avoided a pin is by questionable, dirty tactics. Garfield Ports, the man is an animal.
I know where he's from. He's from Hungary. That's where he's from. I'm really amazed because Jeff Ports years ago was a fighter. Oh, not again. Get out of here. That Ports is... Well, anyway. I was trying to tell you before I was rudely interrupted that Jeff Ports, his father, was one of the nicest wrestlers ever. Tough, but fair. A gentleman in every stretch of the imagination. Amazing, isn't it? The difference between father and son. We're looking at Jeff Ports. Son, that's Garfield Ports, 222 out of London. Johnny Smith, Manchester, Battle of Britain, moving toward the 10-minute mark. And I'll tell you, I made a mistake. I had the word spread to the wrestlers that I had my back messed up when I got sprawled out here in the concrete by a wrestler last week. And so the young Ports, he has been busy throwing wrestlers at me.
Well, Garfield Ports and the members of Karachi Vice, if they know somebody has any kind of little injury, they like to work on it. And that goes for commentators as well as wrestlers.
I found that out. Jürgen Hermann is the referee. It's a one-fall affair. And it's going for a 20-minute time limit. Off the ropes now, Johnny Smith. Over the top. Oh, he just got his head tucked under. If he hadn't managed that, he would have gone out of the ring with his head tucked underneath his arm.
That could very easily have broken Johnny Smith's neck. You're very right, Ed Whalen. That was a vicious throw by Garfield Ports, and Ports is now strutting around the ring. He thinks he's in total control, but he might have another thing coming because Johnny Smith is no quitter.
Well, Tommy Carr, I have lost all time as regards this match. I'll check with Tommy, and we are moving toward the 10-minute mark. Moving toward the 10-minute mark. Very spirited match, this Battle of Britain. Port's going to work. There's no denying his ability, but I question his conduct. Just a 2 count as Smith spins him out of there. Sellout crowd here. They're enjoying every minute, Jim.
It is packed to the rafters, and obviously they are looking forward to the unmasking of the Zodiac versus Jason the Terrible. One of the two is going to lose his mask. Look at this in the ring. Garfield Port's the man who said he's the best wrestler to ever come out of Great Britain. And I'll tell you what, right now, Johnny Smith might just well believe that.
Well, Ports has become a very unpopular wrestler in only a couple of appearances in this ring. Matter of fact, he is ranked number four, yes, among the contenders, behind Johnny Smith in the Commonwealth mid-heavyweight division. He is what you call an impact player, I guess.
He is an impact player. It has not taken him long to assert himself as a force in the mid-heavyweight division. And Johnny Smith right now, as his head gets massaged by Garfield Port's boot, will attest that Garfield is very unlike that cartoon character, Garfield. He ain't lovable.
Well, he threw a not too lovable elbow at Johnny Smith, and Smith, in truth, is having all he can handle. Well, that's 2 yellow cards now for Ports. One more, and he's out of here with a disqualification.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he is disqualified, the fans will only be half pleased. They'd be pleased to see him lose via the disqualification route, but they'd much rather see Johnny Smith, a very popular grappler and former Commonwealth mid-heavyweight champion, beat Garfield Ports 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring.
20-minute time limit. Smith hanging on, won't get pulled over top. No, sir. The other way. Good maneuvering by Smith. Somebody's going for a ride. Whoa. Port's getting out of there in a hurry. He's gonna fly. He is gonna fly, but he waited too long. Here's Johnny Smith. Joins him in the corner, gives him a fling. Love it.
Well, that's Air Express. Garfield Port's going flying. He's going off the ropes now, and look at that big clothesline by Johnny Smith. Smith now in control of the bout. Can he put Garfield Ports away?
We may find out shortly, and a power slam just may slow Ports down. Cover, yes, sir, 1, 2, that's all. Oh, a knee drop to the forehead, and this time we've got a different airplane going through space. It's going to be the body of Johnny Smith. The crowd is saying, no, no, no. They're afraid he's going to make a mistake. Is he? Yes, he is. Yes, yes.
Johnny Smith fails in his attempt to fermer Laporte.
I can't believe you said that. Put him over one. Not quite. The other way. 1, 2. Oh, hey. Good action at mid-ring, and Ports is somewhat frustrated that his opponent is doing such a solid job. Well, a low blow.
Well, Garfield Ports is not making himself popular in this territory. That low blow, and now a small package. 1, 2, 3. It is all over. Johnny Smith was badly shaken up by that low blow. Garfield Ports put him in a small package and put the bout away. 1, 2, 3. A very unpopular decision.
I got to say one thing. I hope your father...
I don't care what you're going to say. Now listen, you Canadian-looking chipmunks, because that's how big your brains are. Listen up to me. Now, I am the greatest athlete ever to come from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, the whole Commonwealth. But I don't have to do this for a living. When I graduated from Oxford...
From Oxford?
I said Oxford. That's right, Oxford. When I graduated from Oxford with my degree in law...
Law?
With my degree in law, I decided I was going to clean up wrestling, and that's what I'm going to do. I talked to the great Gamma.
How come your holes are illegal?
I don't care.
Illegal? What kind of a lawyer are you?
I never broke any rules. I am strictly a scientific wrestler.
Sure.
Now, you shut up, because I don't care what you're going to say. Now, as I was saying, the great Gamma called me up, and I went first class on the Concorde.
All right.
I dropped Chuck and Die. They got a little bit of trouble right now, and I was sorting it out for them.
All right. Listen, I've had enough of yours. I've had enough of it. We've got other things to do in this show except listen to idiots.
The International Tag Team Champions, Bad Company, that's Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman, and Flying Brian, must feel pretty good to have that belt around the waist once again.
Well, I'm feeling great, Jim, and I understand you were feeling a little ill this week, a little bit under weather. I'm glad to see you here tonight.
I wouldn't have missed it.
We're going to come out, try to have a nice, resounding victory, cheer you up a bit. Let's get the shades on you, brother, because I know there's bright lights up there. Might be hurting your eyes a bit because you're sick. All right, looking good. I think we're taking on Goldie Rogers and Kerry Brown tonight, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they're even sure. I think maybe they should call themselves the Great Pretenders. Look at Goldie Rogers. He looks like a cross between Rumpelstiltskin and an anorexic Santa Claus. I mean, have you checked out the guy's wardrobe? It looks like he raided Liberace's closet. And then you got Kerry Brown. I think it might be Meatloaf, that old rock star, moonlighting as a wrestler. Well, this little game of charades sounds a bit fun, so I think tonight, Bad Company is going to assume the role of travel agents. So Rogers and Brown, you got an ETA of about 9:30 tonight. And that A doesn't stand for arrival. That's your estimated time of abuse. Because after Bad Company is done extracting a little sadistic joy on you two, you're going to get a first-class, all-expense-paid, one-way ticket to the promised land.
Now is going to be on Strangler Steve DeSalvo, the big man who checked in at 290 pounds from Los Angeles, formerly out of Boston. I think they ran him out of Massachusetts. And he's in against Randy Thatcher, 217 pounds from Regina. Now, Randy is an awfully good kid. I must question this matchup, however.
I question it as well. Randy Thatcher, a relative newcomer to the wrestling wars. Strangler Steve DeSalvo, not only a veteran, but a powerlifting champion and a man who outweighs Thatcher by more than 70 pounds. It looks offhand like a mismatch.
Well, we certainly are not going to question Mr. Thatcher's courage, not at all. But how do you deal with a guy that size if you're not that size yourself? That is the question.
Well, it'll take all of Randy Thatcher's speed, skill, and wrestling science to overcome a man like Strangler Steve DeSalvo, but I'll tell you what, it is virtually an impossible task. The man is so powerful. DeSalvo, the only thing bigger than his muscles is the man's ego.
Well, he's showing his strength right now. Looks with utter disdain at his opponent. Randy gamely trying to hang in there. Referee is Wayne Hart. I must remind people that where these wrestlers appear in your arenas, etc., there are souvenir calendars on sale, so you might keep a weather eye open for them. Into the corner, Thatcher, oh my. Hey, this is a very likable young man. He is being fed to the wolves. Power, power, power.
Thatcher has been in there against some of the biggest, meanest, toughest wrestlers in the territory. He started out his wrestling career in this territory against Jason the Terrible, and things haven't got much easier since then, but you can see speed sometimes can overcome size. Randy Thatcher doing his best to lay a beating on the big man. He's got to get an advantage and get one quickly, because if DeSalvo ever does get the advantage, it will be game over.
Well, look out. That obviously was a bad maneuver. Strangler Steve DeSalvo, the 290-pounder against the 217-pound Randy Thatcher. We are moving toward the 5-minute mark. One fall affair with a 20-minute time limit, and DeSalvo showing his brute strength right now. There is nothing cute about him, either physically, mentally, or as to his wrestling techniques.
I'll tell you what, you can see he is already playing to the crowd. There's that big DDT move. Thatcher could be down for the count, but Strangler Steve DeSalvo has a habit of toying with his opponents. He says there is nobody worthy in this territory of his great wrestling skills, and thus far he is undefeated in the territory in the few weeks he has been back.
He is simply manhandling young Mr. Thatcher. I think he could take him any time he desired, but he'd just like to mess him up a little. And look at that brute strength. And you know, you look at young Thatcher, and he is a well-built young man, but he looks absolutely puny beside the 290-pounder. Little bulldog. Ouch, I could feel that one.
That could very well be it. Thatcher is on Strange Street, the young wrestler out of Regina, trying to regain his senses, while Strangler Steve DeSalvo flexes the biceps, holds the arms high, plays to the crowd, and takes his time about dispatching young Randy Thatcher. Here's, oh, another big fall. Thatcher in all kinds of trouble. If DeSalvo had any mercy, he would end it and end it quickly. But he is not a man who is given to any display of good feeling or mercy.
He is standing there in the ring and yelling, "Where's LaFleur?" They're at the 5-minute mark. "Where's LaFleur?" he says. Funny thing, when LaFleur appears, DeSalvo is running.
Well, Phil LaFleur, the Montreal sensation, he and DeSalvo have a feud going. They're both power lifters, excellent bodies on the two of them. They're bodybuilders extraordinaire. I will tell you one thing, when the two titans do clash in the ring, it'll be a sight to see, but in the meantime, Randy Thatcher getting pounded from pillar to post by the big man, DeSalvo.
DeSalvo shows no speed, no technique, no finesse, just lumbering bullying. I think that's the way you have to phrase it. That's what he's doing right now.
Well, the only question is, why does he not end it? Here comes the pile driver. This should be it. DeSalvo delaying, toying, showing a thumbs up sign to the audience, waving goodbye, and now the pile driver. That should be it. Thatcher, 1, 2, 3, Thatcher out. Your winner, and a very unpopular winner, I might add, Strangler Steve DeSalvo.
Well, that wasn't pretty at all, although DeSalvo, I am sure, will be of a different persuasion. Now he wants to make a speech to the crowd.
Please. I'd like you to come again, please, Mr. Allen.
He's calling for Bad News Allen. And you know, I kind of have a feeling that this is an ominous development. My main man isn't so mean to me anymore.
I don't blame you for changing your mind on Bad News Allen. There is no reason for him to be in the ring. I think the only reason that he's in there is that DeSalvo, the saddest that he is, wants Bad News Allen to team up with him to lay some further abuse on Randy Thatcher.
And Mr. LaFleur, let's show what kind
Well,
of this Canadian cousin really is.
Don't forget about G.I. Josephine, too.
they're gonna gang up on him. I knew it. I knew it. They're just going to abuse him. They're going to do the yellow stripe down the back bit. The yellow stripe down the back. That's disgusting. What an entourage. I can't believe. I'm getting nervous about you.
Don't get excited, King Edward. I'm just sending a message out there to G.I. Josephine, that spineless cockroach who calls himself the North American title holder, that Pee-wee the Heart Herman, and now this other snot-nosed brat who used to broke into this ring here. Now he's bringing his nose back here and putting it where it don't belong. That Frenchman, Phil LaFleur. I'm just giving a message that every time I step in the ring, whether I wrestle or I come in my street clothes, I will show you beer-belly sharecroppers what Canadian men are all about. They're all spineless, yellow cockroaches.
Come on, get out of here. What is that?
Not only Canadian, how about Kirshner? He's a disgrace to the whole country of the United States. I can't believe it. I won't even say United States of America because you're no American, Kirshner. You're a coward. You should be a woman. You should think about getting that operation to make you a woman because you're a coward.
Oh, come on.
I know, Perman and Blues, you are afraid of me and Macassin. You don't want to give us a championship match. Owen House, I'm ready for you. Look at the men there. You have gold everywhere. You know what the Owen is?
Cute. Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. All right.
They didn't give Kirshner any brains in the service. They didn't give him no stripes for having brains. I just destroyed him in the middle last week, and now he's coming back out here again tonight. How many times do we have to humiliate a little wounded puppy dog like him before he just gives up and goes home and becomes a garbage man like he's supposed to?
You've still got to face him. You've still got to face him. Hurry it up.
Just one thing. Just leave a little bit for him because there's still some Girl Scout cookies that haven't been sold yet.
If you want a little bit, I'll leave a little bit will be his brain.
Can't you find any better men to hang around with?
Hey, never
These are
mind.
the best.
Well,
She's just like a store mannequin. She's
Oh,
standing
yeah,
there. You
sure.
talk on her. You talk on her.
Phil LaFleur, the sensation out of Montreal. He's in there against a young man, I assume he's young, from Buffalo, New York, Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath weighing in at 227, LaFleur 3 pounds heavier, and Black Sabbath attacked LaFleur before anything got going. Look at that power. Look at that.
Amazing strength of Phil LaFleur. You see why he is not afraid of Strangler Steve DeSalvo and why DeSalvo has been running from LaFleur. LaFleur, an amazingly, excellently conditioned athlete. He is powerful. Look at this move. Whoa. It could be all over already. 1, 2, 3, it is.
Oh, look at that. Get the official time. Get the official time, Jimbo. What is it? I think it's 51.
Just 51 seconds. That's absolutely amazing. Phil LaFleur dispatching his opponent, a newcomer to the territory, Black Sabbath. And for Black Sabbath, it was a black debut in the ring the moment he walked in there against the Montreal sensation, Phil LaFleur.
Well, there he is. The crowd is chanting Tinker Bell. I apologize, I can't get into the ring. My back
Whalen,
is messed up.
You're a gentleman, I appreciate it.
Well,
these peasants, whatever they say, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're cretins, morons, typical Canadian.
Well, listen, I'm Canadian. Let's get serious here.
You must have been born in the States, Mr. Whalen.
No.
Don't say that, Mr. Whalen, because I'm gonna get sick right here. First of all, Mr. LaFleur, what did he do? 51 seconds?
51 seconds.
The
Wasn't
best-
that marvelous?
The Canadian peasant, the best Canadian has to offer is this peasant that LaFleur beat. He beats nobodies. He takes them. Sure, he can beat him. I could beat him in 4 seconds.
Could you beat Black Sabbath in 4 seconds?
Make it 3.
Make it 3.
One clothesline. I put my little toe on him because he's Canada's best, right? He's the best Canada has to offer. Put my little toe on him and just give him that big 26.
I would have to see that. I would have to see that.
But you know what?
You're overconfident.
No. Greatness breeds confidence. And this is what I am. And as far as, you know who else I've heard is in the building? The British bull puppies. I'm not quite sure. They must be slithering underneath the chairs like cockroaches. But next, the Hearts. That's on my agenda after LaFleur, after I demolish LaFleur. And then whoever else they throw in front of me, I'm going to take on the Hearts. What do they call him? Omar? Is that his name? Owen. Gee, sounds like a disease, too. And then you got Brucey and Pillman, and who else? Who else is that? Corporal Kirchner.
Good one. No,
Yeah,
Colonel. He's been promoted.
The Vietnamese coward, the one that runs from everyone.
No.
Yes. But let me tell anyways, Mr. Whalen, I would just like to say, Mr. LaFleur, I'll issue a challenge. I'll take the Black Sabbath on next week, and I'll beat your record by 46 seconds.
46?
I'll give him 5 seconds. I'll let him shine a little bit in the ring. I'll let him walk into the ring. Then I'll close down, and that's it.
And what if you don't make it in 5 seconds?
Take it to the bank.
All right.
I keep telling you that. Take it and just sell the condos.
How about a meeting
and
with
everything.
Phil LaFleur? That's what I'm trying to get to. How about that?
When that coward signs the contract, but
He wants you.
He runs from me every time.
I think I need my glasses changed. I've seen you with your
I keep telling you. How many fingers do I have up, Mr. Whalen?
Yeah, okay.
You got to be blind. I'm telling you. But still, it's a gentleman, and I'm glad you were born in the States.
Yes. Sure.
Phil LaFleur, first off, I must tell you it was very impressive watching you dispatch your opponent, Black Sabbath, in only 51 seconds. But secondly, I have to say, Ed Whalen was just talking to the big mouthpiece, Strangler Steve DeSalvo. He says he could beat Black Sabbath in 5 seconds, and he also says he doesn't seem to be in any hurry to take you on inside the squared circle.
Well, first of all, that's why I am this way, because of Steve DeSalvo. He's been avoiding me all the time. I've been telling him week in and week out, I've been challenging him, he's staying away. But he's too scared, he's too much of a coward, and he's staying away from me. But now, it made me so aggressive. This is what I'm doing to all my opponents. And let me tell you, Steve DeSalvo, you think this guy, I just beat him 51 seconds, you think you can take him? I bet $1,000 that he can't beat my time. And let me tell you, Steve DeSalvo, I don't know why you've been avoiding me. You claim that you're wrestling's strongest men. You got 3 things going for you. You got power, you got size, and you're vicious. But I got 3 things going for me. I got the speed, I got the agility, but most of all, I got the people behind me. And that counts a whole lot, because when he's slamming me, when he's beating me, kicking me, punching me, and the people goes, don't give up, Phil, that gets my adrenaline going. And before I let a low-life coward like that beat me, you're gonna have to knock every ounce of blood out of me. Let me tell you, Steve DeSalvo, we're going to face each other. I don't know if it's going to be in Calgary. I don't know if it's going to be in Vancouver. I don't even know if it's going to be in Tokyo. But you will face me one day. And Steve DeSalvo, you're going to walk out with the stitches in your head. Just remember this. What comes around goes around.
Well, a feature this time around has to be the Zodiac facing his bosom companion, Jason the Terrible. Let's find out what the Zodiac is thinking about in another studio right now.
Jason the Terrible, you traitorous, hideous, ungrateful, mutant, hybrid specimen of deformities. Now you'll be exposed for what you really are, just another flesh-wielding mortal with an abnormally small brain diseased with the dilemma of popularity. You let our enemy influence you into defying the great Zodiac and Luke, Prince of Darkness. You blatantly disobeyed the oath of the cult and weakened to a mere wilt. I, Zodiac, was the force behind your success and your strength. It was Luke and I who gave you a home and a purpose when everyone else laughed at you and called you names. Now you will pay for your unloyalty and disrespect. Without me as your coach, you are nothing but a deformed mutation of life itself. And that's what the world will witness when I beat you like the dog you are, then unmask you and expose your horribly disfigured features. Then all those fans who you traded for the cult will turn their backs and laugh. Just as they did before.
There. The combination of Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman, they come in at a combined weight of 439 pounds, going against Kerry Brown of Kansas City and Goldie Rogers of Hollywood with a whopping combined weight of 488 pounds, most of it due to Mr. Brown, who bends the beams at 265. Here we go. Jürgen Hermann, the referee. Brian Pillman gives his greetings to both his opponents.
Well, you can expect Bad Company to take charge in this bout, and they are doing just that. But don't overlook the fact that Kerry Brown is a former holder, along with Duke Myers, of these international tag team belts back when they used to be known as the Masters of Disaster.
Well, they had a very long reign, did Myers and Brown. This is one fall. There's a 30-minute time limit. Jürgen Hermann taking a look at the proceedings. I might note it is a non-title affair. I'm rather surprised to see Brown partnered with Rogers. And I keep wondering where Myers is hiding and under which rock.
Well, Duke Myers, as I said before, might be shopping for a new glove. He always wore that loaded glove full of steel, metal, we don't know what, buckshot perhaps, but he used to lay it on the heads of his opponents with great force, and it was very often the move that led to a submission. Kerry Brown is a good wrestler. Goldie Rogers, a seasoned veteran, but they are not used to wrestling as a team, and as such have to face a very decided disadvantage against Bad Company, a team that has been together for quite some time.
Well, togetherness is what they exhibit as they go after Goldie Rogers. Jürgen Hermann is giving them a yellow card. Bad Company's being bad right about now. Kerry Brown comes in to protest. Meantime, Rogers gets pummeled in the opposite corner. Neck breaker. Hart has really got him softened up.
Well, I have questioned Brian Pillman and Bruce Hart about some of their tactics. They are starting to exhibit some of the tactics you'd expect to see from the hordes of the villains in Karachi Vice. But they say you fight fire with fire. You retaliate every dirty tactic with a dirty tactic of your own. They aren't going to be meek. They aren't going to be mild. They're going to do whatever it takes to retain their championship belts. Somehow, though, it does distress me.
Next thing you're going to say is they say, nice guys finish last.
Well, that was Leo DeRocher, but sometimes in the wrestling game, that is exactly what happens.
Pillman going to work on Big Kerry Brown. Brown will take a lot, but look out. He can be a Vesuvius. A bit of a crater that eventually, when smoking, will erupt. What's this? Cooperation.
Well, there you see the teamwork tactics of Bad Company. It might be a little questionable inasmuch as there are two men dealing out the punishment, but nonetheless, it is teamwork that leads to success in the tag team wars. Right now, though, Kerry Brown asserting himself, and he's utilizing a little teamwork with Goldie Rogers, the man they call Ginger.
Well, now we have a yellow card for Kerry Brown and Goldie Rogers. So they're even at one apiece as regards that yellow card business. A bit of a mauling going on here. Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman against Brown and Rogers. Pillman flips him off that top rope. And Herman is being tested as regards keeping the thing under control.
Jürgen Herman, a very controversial referee. He has made some strange decisions in the past. I don't like to see him get involved in tag team action because that is a test for the very best of ring officials, and for Jürgen Herman, it is more than a test. It's an absolute abomination sometimes, watching the man attempting to deal with 4 participants in the ring at any one time.
There's the tag. You're quite right. They really go at it, these two, Pillman and Hart. Fire with fire, as you described it. Take down. Just 2 as Kerry Brown breaks it up. Pillman driving him off the rope. Look out, Nelly caught him with that kick. Just a 1 count, but Brown came up to disrupt the proceedings rather brusquely.
Pillman and Hart, Bad Company, have been very dominant in the tag team division for quite some time. The only team that challenged them on a consistent basis was the team of Muck and Singh and Champagne Jerry Morrow. Look at that big move off the top rope by Pillman, although it did get broken up by Kerry Brown. The other team that looked to have some sort of a chance was the team of the Zodiac and Jason the Terrible. But when those two wound up at odds with each other, the team dissolved, and now Hart and Pillman have the tag team title very secure.
Bruce Hart, Brian Pillman in action against Kerry Brown and Goldie Rogers. 1 fall. It's a 30-minute time limit, non-title. And we are pushing toward the 10-minute mark. Bruce Hart going air freight. Brown breaks it up. He has done that on innumerable occasions. The fight has been very much dominated by Hart and Pillman. Bruce Hart getting jammed into the corner.
Hart in all kinds of trouble right now. He's got that ring rope, that tag rope, wrapped around his throat by Kerry Brown. Brown, a former tag team title holder himself. He is loving this. He is exerting all kinds of pressure on the throat of Bruce Hart. And you got to know that referee Jürgen Herman has to spot this eventually. And maybe he won't.
Kerry Brown going to work. Boy, I'll tell you, when he flies, he can make some rough landings. He took too long. Took too long. Hart beat him at his own game. Shot him down in midair. And now the clothesline and a 1 count, that's all. Tag, and it's Goldie Rogers.
Well, except for the odd rally, such as we're seeing right now by Goldie Rogers, it has been all Brian Pillman and Bruce Hart. Bad company dominating this bout as we approach the 10-minute mark. And it will take a miracle, I think, if this non-title affair can be won by the team of Goldie Rogers and Kerry Brown.
Just a reminder here, if these are the wrestlers that appear in your town, they are selling wrestling souvenir calendars. Pretty outstanding things. So when you go to your arenas starring these particular wrestlers, well, just have a look-see. I think you'll like them. Goldie Rogers, I don't think he likes Bruce Hart. Here's the tag. Kerry Brown getting set to come in.
10 minutes, John. 10 minutes.
And we are at the 10-minute mark. Yes, sir.
Kerry Brown staging a bit of a rally. Oh! Bruce Hart got out of the way. Kerry Brown went right into the turnbuckle, and here comes Pillman, taking out his frustrations on Goldie Rogers. Big flying drop kick. Here's a pin. 1, 2, just a 2 count. Pillman, a force to be reckoned with in that ring. He's going to do a little noggin knocking.
Bango! Rogers is the object of his disaffection right now. Gives him the big shoulder to the jaw. Pillman looking extremely confident. Well, he has got his pilot's license, all right. He's going to show us his skill right here. Brown breaks it up. That's one of the problems that Jürgen Herman, or indeed any referee, will have, trying to keep a big guy like Brown from interfering. Now Brown takes over the assignment, tossing Pillman very close to our laps.
Well, Pillman did take a rough spill onto the concrete, and there's Goldie Rogers pounding away at him at the ringside table, but Bruce Hart gets involved. It's a free-for-all out here.
Well, Pillman having difficulty getting back into that ring. Goldie Rogers going to work now. Can he secure the upset? I don't think he knows that Hart is coming in. Something's got to give here as he got him. Good clothesline.
This could be it. This could be it. Watch this move off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. It's all over. Brian Pillman, an amazing move off the top rope. Cross body block. He gets Goldie Rogers for the count of 3. And Bruce Hart keeps Kerry Brown from getting involved. It's all over. Your winners, Bad Company.
Guys, a spectacular win. I'll tell you, you have learned something about togetherness, haven't you, as a team?
Yeah, I think that's where it's at in the tag team ranks. You know, certainly we fought a lot of guys who were bigger than us, like Buchan and Kerry Brown, and there's probably some bigger guys on the horizon like DeSalvo and Bad News Ellen. So it's really essential for us to get it together and utilize teamwork, or we're probably going to get gobbled by some of these big powerhouses. But I'd like to just say that Brian's probably the best partner I've linked up with yet, and I've linked up with some really good ones in the past. And I think he's an essential ingredient to our championship success.
Well, I think I would concur with that. And Brian, what are you looking at now?
Well, I'd like to comment on what you mentioned, Ed. Teamwork. That's the definite key to our success. You know, a chain's only as strong as its weakest link. And it took a great president of the U.S., Abraham Lincoln, who once said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." And that's been something that we've tried to work on in our workouts, practices, right on down the line. That's why we're building the momentum up, because we stayed together. There's been a few times when each of us had some personal problems. The other one was there to stick behind us, lift us up, and the people were there too. And that's one of the great reasons why we enjoy the success that we have.
Okay, a good tag team combination. They do it together. Bruce Hart, Brian Pillman. The North American heavyweight champion. And what a champion he is. No matter what his opponents might say out of Karachi Bison Company. Look at him going to work now on Hashif Khan. Hart at 223, hails from Calgary. Khan at 270, Jahal, Mongolia. And it doesn't matter about that weight, does it? Although he used it to advantage there. Hart has all the tools to counter the big man. This is one fall, and there's a 30-minute time limit. We're near the very beginning of the match.
We are just at the outset of the bout, and before the bell was even rung, Hashif Khan, the big Mongolian, the 270-pounder, bushwhacked Owen Hart, got him from behind, laid on several karate kicks and martial arts moves, and threw him right out of the ring. But it took Owen Hart only mere moments to recover and get right back into this bout. They have criticized Owen Hart for not taking on the big heavyweights, men like this 270-pounder, but Owen Hart, he doesn't care how big they are. He'll take on all comers.
You were going to say the bigger they are,
the harder they fall.
Where did that come from? Nice guys finish. Yeah, okay. Jim, reads like your newspaper column.
Avoid cliches like the plague.
Jürgen Herman keeping a weather eye on proceedings. Big man from Mongolia. Got me choked up. I don't anticipate that he'll really be much of an opponent for Owen Hart, but I have been wrong before, at least once. Owen Hart, Hashif Khan, Mongolia, nearing the 5-minute mark. Oh, this is a good-looking champion. This is one of the best fighters in the world, I think.
Owen Hart has been ranked in various other territories by experts who look at wrestlers all over the world. And every time he is ranked, you will find him in the top 3 in all of the world. Sometimes at number 1, and I think he deserves to be there. He is an acrobat. He has enormous strength, unbelievable skills, and there is not a wrestling hold that this young man at his tender age has not already mastered.
2 yellow cards now being shown to Khan, the Mongolian. And we are at the 5-minute mark. One fall, 30-minute time limit, as I mentioned. Sellout crowd here to take in the proceedings. Oh, my. He's showing some Mongolian meanness right now.
A very close attempt at a pin by the Mongolian misfit, Hashif Khan, but look at that kip up. Owen Hart goes up to greet Yashiv Khan, throws him down. You could call that a superplex, and now Owen Hart is gonna fly.
Well, caught him right on the face. Saw something flying. I don't know whether it's teeth or what, but he caught him right on the face. Now across that ring, look out, Nelly! Oh, what a landing.
I think that may have been a Mongolian molar. Right out of the jaw of Hashif Khan. Khan came in exuding confidence. He knew he had about 50 pounds on Owen Hart. Little did he know, he's in there against a whirling dervish.
Up top, pulls him over, nice move. Owen Hart facing a 270-pounder. You can see the weight means nothing to him. The young man from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Up top, and there's the landing. Ouch. Oh, did he smack him?
Well, it's very close to being a garbage con.
That's terrible. Ah, what was that? Over it comes, 2, 3. Oh, he bridged beautifully. Beautiful job.
A beautiful bridge maneuver. Owen Hart came off that top rope. He totally surprised Hashif Khan. A fantastic pin. That is the expertise we've come to know and love by our North American heavyweight champ, Owen Hart. Some of the big misfits have said you don't like going in there against the big men, the super heavyweights, but it only took you about 7 minutes to make a garbage con out of Hashif Khan.
Well, you know, he's a respectable opponent. He was Mongolian champion, and he's coming over here to Canada, and he's giving it his best. But he didn't have it enough tonight. I'd just like to say, there's a lot of guys flapping their mouth off, and I've said this week in and week out. All these guys that hear Kerry Brown's challenging me now, there's a whole list of them. I'm ready. My knee's almost 100% now. I'm getting better by every match. So any one of these guys want to flap their mouth off, they can come in and take their best shot.
Well, some of these men are big. You're talking about the likes of Bad News Allen, Muck and Singh, but even they, I don't think, can compete with those acrobatic moves that you continue to dazzle us with in the ring.
Well, my biggest disadvantage is my size. I'm smaller than almost 90% of my opponents in the heavyweight division. That includes like Muck and Singh and Bad News Allen, Kerry Brown, Jerry Morrow, Jason, Zodiac, all those guys. So I got to rely on my speed and my quick maneuvers to get me by, and it's worked well for me. If I just keep it up, I hope to retain my North American belt.
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you. A true champion, Owen Hart.
I'm going to ask you a question, Kerry Brown. Where's Duke Myers?
Well, since me and Duke have been apart, I've been looking for a new partner. As you've seen tonight, evidently, Mr. Hollywood is not it. But there is somebody out there who's got the ability and the stamina, such as myself, to team up with me and take the belts and hold them again for 7 years like we have before. Now, the issue at hand is Mr. Owen Hart. Finally, you brought yourself down to my level, as you would have it, and gave me a match. Well, Mr. Hart, your title reign is probably very, very long for you, but for me, I think it's going to end next week when I take the belt away from you. Now, I'm sorry, I have to do this, but somebody out there has got to step up and stand up for their rights and not sit back and let you push them around like you have been. So, Mr. Hart, you get the brasso out, you polish the gold and the silver, and you bring the belt. Make sure you bring that little velvet case with it, too, because I want it after I defeat you 1, 2, 3 next week. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
The grateful Kerry Brown. Well, here's the long-awaited confrontation. Mike Kirchner, the Colonel, out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, against Mucka Singh, Saginaw, Michigan. Kirchner, not exactly a middleweight at 260, but he spots his opponent 120 pounds. Singh is up to 380. And I really do wonder how they're going to be able to keep Mucka in the ring, Jim.
Well, Mucka Singh has been avoiding Colonel Kirchner. There was a bout between these two men just 1 week ago, but there was interference by Jason the Terrible. It was enough to create a very profound diversion in the bout and a very controversial decision for Mucka Singh. Mucka Singh, by the way, is joined at ringside by the financial advisor of Karachi Vice, Abu Wizal, the midget in the turban, and the social director of Karachi Vice, the always lovely, the somewhat talented Miss Honey.
Well, they look a little concerned about their man, but then they have good company because Mucka looks concerned too. He is not much for tangling with Mike Kirchner. Mucka stomps his way past us, wastes a little more time. Is he ever going to tangle with his opponent? And of course, the irony is Mucka's always talking about how Kirchner runs.
That is absolute nonsense. The Colonel made no bones about it. He won't run and he won't hide. You can see who is running. And Colonel Kirchner, to underscore the point that he wants to put an end to Mucka Singh in this territory, brought into the ring with him a giant-size, extra-large body bag.
Ooh, ominous stuff. Well, I wish they'd get this going. Colonel is going to talk to the crowd.
Am I going to get a chance to flush it inside the ring or outside the ring tonight, huh?
Well, I suppose one of the things that will be of major concern to Kirchner, if he's not thinking about it already, is I wonder if Mucka will be the only one who winds up in the ring. He always has some friends to do his dirty work.
Well, that seems to be the theme song of Mucka Singh when he's involved in any kind of fracas with Colonel Kirchner. It's the old Beatles song, with a little help from my friends. And I'll tell you what, he'll need a lot of help from all of his friends if he expects to take on Kirchner in the ring and emerge victorious. Colonel Kirchner, a great string of victories in record-setting time leading up to that very controversial decision just 1 week ago to Mucka Singh, a decision that he wants revenge for and wants it now.
And our question of the day, is he going to get it now? He's running again. I don't believe this. Is this a track meet or a wrestling match? I don't know. Is this the squared circle or a chicken ranch?
Well, it's ironic. Colonel Kirchner has accused Mucka Singh of being a draft dodger, of being a coward. He has said, Mucka, you ran when you were supposed to fight, and all that's happening right now is that Mucka Singh is proving Kirchner right. Kirchner keeps saying, I want to flush you right inside this ring toilet bowl. But the toilet bowl, 380-pound Mucka Singh, wants nothing to do with him.
Well, again, Kirchner is delivering a sermon to his opponent. I've never seen so much wasted time. Will he get back in? He does momentarily, and we are approaching the 5-minute mark, and absolutely nothing has happened. And out he goes again.
5 minutes gone.
Well, there we are. We're at the 5-minute mark, and I tell you what, we're going to take time out right now for this commercial message. It's Kirchner, supposedly against Bucka Singh. Oh, no. And Bad News Allen is interfering at ringside. Wouldn't you know it? I don't believe this. This was to have been a fight between Bucka Singh and Colonel Kirchner. What is going on here at ringside? The yellow stripe business? I can't believe that. The yellow stripe.
Well, for the first 5 minutes of this bout, all Bucka Singh did was run away from Colonel Kirchner. Then a diversion by Bad News Allen. Allen holding on to Kirchner. And you can see Allen is now, oh, he drove him into one of the steel doors. Colonel Kirchner is down. He is hurt. And Bad News Allen, the man that Ed Whalen called his main man, has interfered in this bout, and I cannot believe this.
This is terrible. This is terrible. Bucka Singh did absolutely nothing for 6 full minutes. Now the Colonel is cut. The Colonel is cut. He just keeps getting banged over the head. Courtesy of Bad News Allen. And it's not Bucka Singh. It is not Bucka Singh against Colonel Kirchner. Not at all.
Look at this, Ed Whalen. Look at this.
What are you doing?
The man is a sissy. He made me wait. He shouldn't have never made me wait. I told you before that I was going to teach him a lesson.
He would take you face to face, Allen, if you do it one-on-one.
All he has to do is sign his ex on a contract to meet the Ultimate Warrior in the ring, and he hasn't done it. He hadn't did it yet, and he's got me hot now.
What amazes me is Bucka Singh could do nothing. Nothing.
It looks to me like Bucka Singh is beating him for everything he's worth.
That's because you did it. That's because you did it.
I just gave him a helping hand, that's all. He fell out the ring, and I just threw him back in to help him.
Sure you did. Sure you did. The gospel according to Bad News Allen.
Look at him, look at him. That's where he belongs, down on the floor like the lowlife that he is. Look at him, he's gutless. He has no guts. All he did was run from Bucka Singh, that's all he did.
We watched Bucka Singh running for 6 full minutes away from this man.
I don't know. Bad News Allen must be on some form of mind delusion drug. He has no idea what has transpired in this bout. All he has done is interfere, and he may have cost Colonel Kirchner the victory, because now Kirchner, his head is split open. He is a victim of 2-on-1, typical Karachi Vice tactics. It is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if Kirchner can recover from this. If anybody can, though, it's the Colonel.
Well, he's got a long way to go. And I noticed that Bad News Allen is still hanging around the ring in case the job is not done by the 380 pounds of blubber in there, Bucka Singh.
Ed, you're my friend and everything, but I don't like the way you talk about my friend Mocker. He is not blubber. He's a well-trained, well-conditioned athlete. Look at that man.
He's a pile of garbage. That's what he is. I can't believe this.
Ed, don't listen to Chipmunk, because he collects nuts and he is a nut.
Well, that's Acorn Head talking once again. Bad News Allen interfering in a bout. I have yet to see Allen do anything except talk and interfere over the last several weeks.
The Ultimate Warrior is waiting his turn. When they put their name on a contract, if they could spell their name, I will be more than happy, more than glad to meet them in the middle of the ring.
Well, I must admit, Jimbo, I haven't seen Allen fighting. I haven't seen him fighting, except for the ambush routine.
Well, look at this. Kirchner now trying to rebound from the beating that he took at the hands of two different men. Muckin Singh has a foreign object that he's driving into the throat area of Colonel Kirshner. Kirshner, his head is split open. He is in all kinds of trouble. But if anybody can come back, like I said, it is the Colonel. But here comes the Karachi Crunch.
Here it comes.
There he goes.
He missed.
I gotta go make a phone call.
Sure you do. Sure you gotta make a phone call. Kirshner coming back. Beautiful clothesline. Look at him go to work. The crowd is on fire. Mucka can't get out of there. He wants to run. Mucka Singh wants to run. And the crowd going totally wild. Listen to them go. He's very agile, Kirshner. He won't let him get away, will he, Jim?
Kirshner now has got Muckin Singh where he wants him in a one-on-one fight. Right now, the fight is outside the ring. There's that big headbutt by Colonel Kirshner. He's dragging him around.
Let me get out of here. Or we're going to wind up with a lap full of Mucka Singh, Jim. Out comes the chair. Bango on the back. Bango on the top of the head. I think they're going to, are they wiping the whole thing out? He says the 10 count has been called. Ring the bell, and it's all over. It's a boot camp match. Barbed wire around the ring.
There's no way he can come out here and start ordering matches with barbed wire, anything like that. This isn't a concentration camp or something. This is one of the greatest athletes in the world. I'll tell you what, if he can get me in a ring, I'm not going to say no to the little punk ever. But I'll tell you what, when I do get in a match with him, bunkhouse match, he's going to wish he was still in boot camp or bunkhouse. I'll tell you something, your boots ain't big enough to get in a boot camp match with me, G.I. Joe. I know where you spent your military career peeling potatoes like some bum.
Yeah, and are you going to stay out of it? That is the question.
What are you talking about? I was just sitting out here minding my own business. But one thing I love, when he had that yellow streak down his back that the good man Mucka Singh put, because that's what he deserves. G.I. Josephine, a yellow streak.
Let him fight one-on-one, okay? That'd be a change.
He looked kind of nice yellow, didn't he, Eddie?
I don't think. Do I get a medal for this?
No, but if this continues, you will get your own staff chiropractor.
Oh, what a beautiful clothesline. Just a 2 count. Well, they are really into the business of shaking each other up, aren't they?
Well, just when you think the Zodiac is making a spirited comeback, the superior strength of Jason the Terrible takes control. And look at Jason. He is going upstairs. He's coming off that top rope. Oh, ho, ho. The Zodiac gets out of the way, and it could be Jason that needs to talk to Ed Whalen's chiropractor.
I'll save him a seat. It's Zodiac all the way right now. The falling star. Whoop. He got the leg up on the rope. Zodiac hit him with a falling star, but didn't put him away.
That is the Zodiac's submission hold. He has claimed that no man can get up after going through his falling star maneuver, but Jason proved him wrong. Jason once again avoiding the pin. I'll tell you what,
10 minutes.
this
John.
bout
10
is one
minutes.
heck of a ring ding dong dandy.
Big power slam. Late stages, perhaps, of a match between Jason the Terrible and his former buddy, the Zodiac. They used to work well together. They are working apart now. The flame of love is not burning very brightly here. Look out for this. Zodiac got thrown out. Bang, go! 1, 2, 3. He got him! He got him! Jason got him! Got him! Got him!
He came off that top rope and slammed into the Zodiac with that fiberglass face mask. It stunned the Zodiac, and Jason the Terrible got the pin. Now, we will see what happens. The loser of this bout is to be unmasked.
Zodiac doesn't want it to be that way. But Jason is going to look after him. He's going to pile drive him. And that's how he's going to get the mask off him. Off comes the mask. I'm not sure what comes out of that mask. Zodiac cannot get away. I wonder if I'll know this man. I don't know him. I don't know him.
I believe that's a wrestler from another territory, Barry O. A wrestler from another territory, and Jason the Terrible has unmasked the Zodiac, and he is strutting around, holding the mask. The crowd is going wild, and here comes Bad News Allen.
What a bizarre night. Bad News Allen comes in to pay a visit.
Calm down, Jason. Calm down. I know you don't have too much up here.
Now, Bad News Allen is having a little chat with Jason. I wonder if he's going to congratulate him, because I look in his hip pocket and I see that yellow spray can. I'm a little suspicious. I'm a little suspicious.
I'll tell you what, the Zodiac has been dispatched, but now Jason the Terrible had better watch out. As you say, he could be about to get bushwhacked by Bad News Allen.
Jason doesn't quite know what to do. He says, okay, we'll shake hands. There they are. Best buddies, are they really? Oh, no, he put it in his eyes. He put it in his eyes. The yellow's in his... I can't believe that. Is he going to take the mask off him? He's going to take the mask off. No. He's going to use it to go after Jason. Bad News has become his name, hasn't he? Bad News.
This is the horrible influence that you called my main man. I cannot believe it, Ed Whalen.
Well, we got to get out of here. We've run smack out of time. Tell you, it's been something being with you. Look forward to seeing you next time, but in the meantime, and in between time, that's it. Another edition of TSN Wrestling. Bye-bye now.